You are transported to year zero with any object from the present with you. Which item do you choose to make people lose their minds the most?
I'd bring a bicycle. Nobody would ever be able to catch me. They'd be in awe of my ability to travel anywhere I wanted 10x faster than them for free and not have to feed and train a horse.
I bring the book, How to Invent Everything, by Ryan North. I'm a time traveler, seems to be an appropriate choice.
You don't need to bring anything to make them lose their minds. If my studies have taught me anything, it's that when doing a time warp, it's the pelvic thrust that really drives them insane.
Lead hula hoop.
Wikipedia on an e-ink display powered by a hand crank.
Kazoo. For obvious reasons.
A solar-powered calculator. It works without needing batteries, which aren't around. Doesn't need the internet or to be plugged in. Innocent enough to make people go wow, but not think of you as some kind of heretic that needs to be burned at the stake. Edit. Thank you to whomever sent the Bravo Award. Edit 2. Now silver, thank you.
Jupiter. Jupiter's an object from the present. Trust me, it's gonna make waves.
A camera, and when I show them their picture, I tell them I've captured their soul.
There's an old story I heard about an interview with a centenarian after the moon landing. They asked this little old lady what the greatest leap forward she'd witnessed was in these last 100 years as the world moved from horses to automobiles, the jet age, the nuclear age and then the space age. And her reply was the mop. When she was a little girl they had to scrub the floor on their hands and knees. Then someone attached a handle to the scrub brushes and women could wash the floor standing up. It was the single greatest development in her lifetime. This thing, the stick attached to a scrub brush, impacted her life more than anything else from Einstein to Henry Ford. If you like what you see, please comment, like and subscribe.
As many spices and seasonings as I could in their modern-day little shaky containers. To say I would be a rich man would be an understatement.
Adam Savage's titanium alloy flying Iron Man suit. Possibly with a megaphone mounted in it.
A laser pointer with a solar battery. I'm gonna scare the shit out of some people with a harmless beam of light.
If the point is to blow people's minds, I'd take a gold-plated Apache helicopter and materialize in year zero at the top of Mount Olympus. I'd fly my golden chariot, circling Athens a few times so everyone notices, land it at the Parthenon, and emerge in a flight suit. Minds blown.
Probably hastily pick something up at the pharmacy toy aisle before I become the fourth king to present Jesus with a gift.
A shit ton of cocaine.
The lighter. If Hocus Pocus taught me anything, it's that's making fire in your hands will freak people out. Also I'd probably die without one.
Hentai body pillows. A map of the world. Roman Empire in America. Flex seal your door is splitting down the middle? There's gaps in your houses? Your card is broken? Don't you guys worry, I got you covered. My prosthetic leg for my amputation. Just being alive would be a feat, and the leg would be the icing on the cake.
Gray's Olympics Almanac. Complete Olympic statistics 1 to 50 AD.
This is my boomstick. Edit. My god, thanks for the gold and for the younger of you, there's a link to explain my comment, at 243.
Well, antibiotics and medicines in general. Because if I don't, I'll probably kill everyone with all the diseases that I will bring from the future.
Well, the time machine would likely work as well as anything else.
The Lincoln Memorial. You never listed a size constraint. A gigantic marble Abraham Lincoln is now hidden somewhere in Australia, having sunk into the dirt that was too weak to hold it. Jack Black.
Full series of the Old Farmer's Almanac. A good chisel. Going to go make some cave writings with a bunch of info on chemistry, extending into a little of quantum mechanics. About to confuse the fuck out of historians. Edit. Yes, I realize when year zero is. The point of caves is twofold, one is that I can do it in peace, the other is so preservation and location aren't an issue. Writing it on paper could easily get burned or lost. A thorough carving should last, although I may need to do multiple caves in case one collapses. Saying I'd need to bring a chisel is a joke that my whole goal when going back is to fuck with present-day historians. As for chemistry, it's because I just got my degree in it and I'm working on my master's. I wouldn't remember everything, but almost all of chemistry is very new relative to math, so I'd know enough to really mess with people. Pretty much everything I know was discovered in the last 100 years, and definitely in the last 500. As for the quantum mechanics, it's because the wave equation is simpler to draw than an atom.
An atom bomb is sure to make everyone lose their mind.
The Gerald R. Ford-class aircraft carrier complete with nuclear powerhouse and all the bells and whistles, planes, choppers, boats. Vibrator. Bop it.
I'd bring a saxophone and become the coolest cat this side of the Silk Road.
Toilet paper. It even made people lose their minds in 2020.
My guitar. I won't be able to do much with a cell phone or a gun long term, but with 21st century instrument craftsmanship, I imagine I can consistently wow people.
The book of math, physics, and some engineering projects from around the Industrial Revolution. All written in Latin. Also enough gold to get me to Rome.
A lighter. Or fleshlight. Or one of those little dinosaurs and you put them in water and they magically grow bigger. Or a tampon.
I'm bringing the Bible to see what was bullshit and what wasn't.
So, I'm not sure it would matter what I took back with me. My body carries thousands of bacteria and pathogens against which the immune systems of the people I will encounter have no conceivable defense. I will quite literally be a walking plague, bringing death and destruction anywhere I go. I can't bring enough medicine to help even 1/100th of the people I am likely to encounter. Even if I could, my reputation would precede me, eventually, and I would be killed from a distance and likely burned. My time among the ancients would be characterized by unavoidable tragedy and pain, and, since I speak no language spoken by them, I would be incapable even of warning them of the calamity I both contain, and, sadly, for all intents and purposes, have become. Therefore, if I absolutely must be transported back, and cannot simply refuse the time travel, I must choose a boat to bring along. Although I will almost certainly go mad due to lack of companionship, I'll do my best to find a deserted island with some kind of wildlife susceptible to domestication, and do my best to survive for my allotted span, cursing those who sent me back and reciting to myself, occasionally, those meager scraps of poetry I once memorized as a child, never suspecting that they would ever be my only connection to that other world, the one that seems like a dream, now, before the Isle of Pigs, which, although my contemporaries will never know it, will be until the moment of my death the isle where humanity's future waits. Hang on, you mean 0 BC or 0 AD?
One fully loaded Abrams tank.
A printout of Wikipedia pages detailing major events that would happen in the next 100 years, including details of solar eclipses and storms and natural disasters. Then I'd pretend to predict those happening. Gonna be fun seeing everyone lose their minds.
Now witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.
Plastic wrap. I'm going to activate hard mode on this one and say an ear of corn. I can probably make all other sorts of things like penicillin to cure the plague and vaccines for stuff like smallpox. The time machine that brought me there, thank you very much.
The history book, imagine telling about the future in so many different ways. Telling them about medicine, vaccines, flying machines, better agriculture practices, how to build better technology, and a printing press to help spread the book around. However, who knows how empires will fight and colonize with this knowledge, and imagine how different the future will be from this edit. Yeah, the book will probably be biased, and I can't correct or explain to them other events because of the language difference, but that book will probably be kept in a super safe place, and while the English language developed, they'll start to decode it. And if they do, it'll still be a good thing because they will still develop technology a few hundred years early.
Year 0 was 1975. Pol Pot declared it to be Year 0, a new start after a total break from the previous government way of life. It was supposed to usher in a communist utopia. Instead, it led to the Cambodian genocide. Not sure what I'd bring. The people were already pretty freaked out after being marched out of the cities en masse to die.
A Rubik's Cube, and when I solve it I will be their king.
Easy. One of those one-wheeled remote control skateboards that like 4 random kids in college towns ride.
A picture of Earth taken from outer space.
I would take a camera, use it to take photos, and then make modern-day historians lose their minds with what I found. Cheating? Maybe.
Condoms.
Maybe a calculus book, or any other math book. Rather take a fancy tech gadget.
Probably some fake magic equipment. Shit, I could be Jesus too right after he died. I will bring gold. My desktop computer. Like just the physical computer would blow their fucking minds. The symmetrical design, hard lines, plastic, metal etc. would look alien as fuck. I don't know how much more their minds would be blown if I could also somehow sneak in a monitor and about 50 solar panel chargers to power it on. And then show them my desktop background, and then a game, and some porn.
The entire Earth, just boom Earth hits Earth.
If we're assuming that I'm going to the Near East, because it's year zero and there's things going down around there, I say fuck it. I bring the entire Burj Khalifa. The whole thing. Then I tell everyone I'm their new god, and they need to start digging sewer tunnels and freshwater viaducts for my magical new city. Also, work on refining palm oil for my diesel generators. Chop shop. I mean, either that or I bring a freshly fueled Nimitz aircraft carrier with everyone on board. Except Marines and MPs and anyone taller than me. Okay, that one is less doable.
If you like what you see, please comment, like and subscribe.